Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. I am Princess Malu Bustillo, and together with my members, we are here to discuss about the Republic Act number 10175, or it is an act defining cybercrime, providing for the prevention, investigation, suppression, and the imposition of penalties therefore and for other purposes. So in Chapter 1, Section 1, title, this act shall be known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So it is a law, uh, the law created for to prevent cybercrime. In Section 2, declaration of the declaration of policy. It says that the policy declared that any form of medium that is misused, abused, or accessed illegally will be punished by the law. Also, it says that the state will use domestic and international ways of preventing such offenses. Um, let's proceed to Section 3, definition of terms. For purposes of this act, the following terms are hereby defined as follows. So the terms used in the act is defined in this section. These terms are access, um, alteration, communication, computer, computer data, computer program, computer system, without right refers to without right, cyber, critical infrastructure, cybersecurity, database, interception, and service provider. So these are the definition of terms that will be tackled here in Republic Act 10175. So let's proceed to Chapter 2, which is the punishable acts. In Chapter 2, Section 4, cybercrime, it tackles about the cybercrime offenses. The following acts constitute the offense of cybercrime punishable under this act. So it states that the cybercrime offenses wherein people who commit the acts stated will be punished. These offenses are the offense regarding confidentiality, illegal access, um, illegal interception, data interference, system interference, misuse of devices, cyber squatting, um, uh, cyber cyber squatting, um, um, using an existing or similar trademark or name of a person, forgery, fraud, identity theft, cyber sex, cyber sex, um, child child pornography, unsolicited commercial communications, and libel. So those are the punishable acts involved in this Republic Act 10175. So in Section 5, the other offenses, apart from what is stated in Section 4, there are other offenses included. These are um, aiding or abetting in the commission of cybercrime, attempt in the commission of cybercrime, and attempt in the commission of cybercrime. So this aiding of or abetting in the commission of cybercrime, any person who willfully abets or aids in the commission of any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held liable. And attempt in the commission of cybercrime, any person who willfully attempts to commit any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held also liable. So in Section 6, um, all crimes defined and penalized by the revised penal code as amended and special laws if committed by through and with the use of information of communications technologies shall be covered by the relevant provisions of this act. Um, in Section 6, any crimes committed in the revised penal code will have the penalty that will be imposed by 1 degree higher than the existing code. Also, special cases in the penal code are included and will be punished. In Section 7, liability under other laws, a prosecution under this act shall be without prejudice to any liability for violation of any provision of the revised penal code as amended or special laws. And in Section 7, people people who commit or violate libel will be prosecuted. Also, any liability for violation of the revised penal code will be punished or as amended or special laws. So let's go now to chapter 3, the penalties. In section 8, it talks about the penalties, which is any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in section 4 and of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos of up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both. So in section 8, this any person found guilty will be penalized with 20,000 pesos and up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both. A person committing such acts will pay 250,000 pesos to 1 million pesos. So, let's go now to section 9, the corporate liability. In section 9, it tackles about any person in the corporate setting who commit libel will be punished a maximum of 10,000 a maximum of 10 million pesos and a minimum of 5 million pesos will be fined to the company. So let's go now to the next chapter, chapter 4, which will be presented by Jenicel Umpok.
Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. I am Jenicel M. Ompok, and I will start to present the Chapter 4, the Republic Act 10175, which is the enforcement and implementation. So let's start. Section 10, Law Enforcement Authorities. The National Bureau of Investigation (NBI) and the Philippine National Police (PNP) shall be responsible for the efficient and effective law enforcement of the provisions of this Act. The NBI and the PNP shall organize a cybercrime unit or center manned by special investigators to exclusively handle cases involving violations of this Act. So in this section 10, there are law enforcers who are authorized to create investigations. These are the NBI and the PNP. So let's proceed to section 11. Duties of law enforcement authorities. So, to ensure that the technical nature of cybercrime and its prevention is focused on considering the procedures involved for international cooperation. Law enforcement authorities, especially the computer or technology crime divisions or unit responsible for the investigation of cybercrimes, are required to submit timely and regularly reports including pre-operation, post-operation, and investigation results, and such other documents as may be required to the Department of Justice, DOJ, for review and monitoring. So in this section 11, the duty of law enforcement authorities is to ensure that the cybercrime must be prevented. So the DOJ will review and monitor the results of the investigations for the further analysis. So let's proceed to section 12. Real-time collection of traffic data. Law enforcement authorities while due cause shall be authorized to collect or record by technical or electronic means traffic data in real time associated with specified communications transmitted by means of a computer system. So in this section 12, this means that in section 12, any traffic data gathered refer to only the communications, origin, destination, route, time, date, size, duration, or type of underlying service. This information can be used as evidence. So in this case of committing the acts and will issue a warrant. So data of all the people are monitored and can be accessed by the government. So we are done to section 12. Let's proceed to section 13. Section 13. Data from the computers are preserved for a minimum period of 6 months. So the data will be preserved by the service provider and shall be kept confidential its order and compliance. Section 14. In section 14, they should disclose information, traffic data or relevant data in the person's possession or control for 72 hours. So these documents will be used for investigation purposes. So in this section 15, search, seizure, and examination of computer data. In section 15, any technologies used for the act will be taken and used against you. A search and seizure warrant is properly issued that gives the authorities power to investigate. Section 16, custody of computer data. The custody of computer and traffic data examined under a proper warrant within 48 hours and will be sealed and kept confidential. There will be no duplicates and all data gathered will only be shown heard in court. Section 17, the destruction of computer data. So in this destruction of computer data, it is that upon expiration of the data, the gathered data will be destroyed. All the preserved and examined that they attend will be destroyed also. Section 18, exclusionary rule. If there is no proper warrant, the evidence gathered cannot be used against you. It shall be inadmissible for any proceeding before any court of tribunal. Section 19, restricting or blocking access to computer data. So in the section 19, it talks about the computer data is prima facie that violates the act will be restricted or blocked. The DOJ issues this order. Section 20, non-compliance. And the section 20 talks about a fine of 100,000 pesos if 100,000 pesos or imprisonment will be given if the person does not comply with the law enforcers. These punishments will be given each and every time the person does not comply with the authorities. So we are now to chapter 5, the jurisdiction. Section 21, the jurisdiction. The regional trial court shall have jurisdiction over any violation of the provisions of the Act, including any violation committed by a Filipino national, regardless of the place of commission. Jurisdiction shall lie if any computer system wholly or partly situated in the country, or when by such commission any damage is caused by commission damage is caused to a natural or judicial person who, at the time the offense was committed, was in the Philippines. There shall be designed special cybercrime courts manned by special trained judges to handle cybercrime cases. So let's proceed to Chapter 6, the International Cooperation in the Republic Act 10175. Section 22. The general principles relating to international cooperation. Section 2, Section 22, the general principles relating to international cooperation. All relevant international instruments or international cooperation in criminal matters, arrangements agreed on the basis of uniform or reciprocal legislation, and domestic laws to widest extent possible for the purposes of investigations or proceedings concerning criminal offenses related to computer systems and data, and also for the collection of evidence in electronic form of a criminal. Offenses shall be given full force and effect. That's all. So the next chapter will be presented by Richelle de Laganar.
Good day, everyone. Good day, sir. I'm Richelle de Laganar, and I will discuss this Chapter 7, Republic Act 10175. Section 23. The DOG will be the central authority. International mutual assistance will be working with the DOG also. And Section 24. The Act will be effective within 30 days, and the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center will take charge in the National Cyber Plan. They will be under administrative supervision by the Office of the President. Section 25, the CICC will be headed by the Executive Director of Information and Communication Technology Office and is under the Department of Science and Technology. There will be one representative from a private sector and academe as member. Section 26. The CICC has power and function regarding the Cybercrime Act. They coordinate, recommend, monitor, take action, and formulate cyber plan. And Chapter 8, Section 27. An appropriation is made for the implementation of the Act. A total of 50 million will be appropriated annually for implementation. Section 28. The CITO, DOST, and the DOG and the DILG will join the formulation for the needed rules and regulation within 90 days. 90 days will start from the approval of the Act and effective implementation. Section 29. If this Act is held invalid, other provision will still take effect. They will still use and remain a full force and the effect of this Act. Section 30. All the law that are inconsistent from this Act will be repealed and modified. The Electronic Commerce Act will be hereby modified. Section 31. The Act will take effective after 15 days of completion, and the publication will be posted in the official gazette or in at least 2 newspapers of general circulation. And that's all. Thank you.